name is Tom Padovano.
And I'm Jean Marie.
And we have our daughter Lauren. She just turned 17 recently, and she's been at Heartlight for 4 months.
When we first came to Heartlight, it was the worst day of our lives. We just probably weren't 100% sure as we were arriving if this was the right thing to do. We were taking our daughter that we had such high hopes for out of our home, and entrusting her to people that we hadn't yet met. We knew only on paper, and so it was very difficult. It was just really devastating, feeling like I felt like I'd failed as a mother, and that this is what we had come to, where we had to take our daughter out of our home, in order to protect our family and in order to protect her as well. I really felt like we were alone. I know that sounds odd to say, but I just felt like we were the only ones sort of dealing with this type of struggle with our daughter. These struggles that teens are going through are very common, and they can be dealt with, and you can have good relationships, and that there is hope.
I would tell a parent who's bringing a child into Heartlight that your child is safe, and you can rest assured that you're leaving your child in a safe, caring, loving place with people who are the right people.
I think what I would tell parents is along the same lines, that the staff here is just so caring and loving. They really have hearts for these kids. Every time we leave, I feel once again that we made the right decision in putting our daughter here and entrusting our daughter with the people that are on the staff.
My name is Amy Lake, and I have a son named Brady, who graduated yesterday in a private graduation after 15 months at Heartlight. Life before Heartlight was really dark, sad, and really scary. We were in a pretty dark place right before we came to Heartlight. He was attempting to take his life, and we had pretty much maxed out on insurance benefits from different facilities around the area for short-term, long-term stays, and we were kind of at the end of our rope. When I left Brady here, there was a million emotions that were going through me. I was scared, I was worried, I was terrified. I was concerned if I was doing the right thing. I felt like a failure, pretty much, because I couldn't parent my child the way I felt like I was supposed to. And the day that my husband and I came here and sat on that couch was one of the scariest days of my life. And we left here that same day with pits in our stomachs and holes in our hearts. If you're dropping your son or daughter off for the first time, I know it's scary and I know it's hard, but I also want you to have some hope in your heart, because things are going to get better. Things are going to be different. This is a tough day, and I know the emotions are swarming, and those emotions will lessen over time. And if you stick with the program, and if you let Heartlight kind of take over and parent your child and comfort your child and give your child what he or she needs right now, things will get better. And I would just say, be patient. The joy that I'm able to find now that Brady's graduated is a relationship with him. I really feel like we can talk, and there's not that conflict and that struggle and the anger that kind of takes over conversations that happened in the past. And I think that I talk a lot less and I listen a lot more. Together, we're much more capable of handling the problems that are going to arise. And I know we're going to have problems when we go home, but I feel like we're at such a different place now with a lot more tools to handle those difficulties.
We're Jean and Margot Krause, and our daughter Anna has been at Heartlight almost a year. She came home from the hospital and we thought, okay, we can do this. She can go to counseling and whatnot. We didn't know why she'd done it. She'd really never been any problem at all. But after that, we found out she'd been into a lot of really bad stuff. I felt like a total failure as a mother. I don't know what we could have done differently because we tried to be the best parents we could be, but we didn't know what she was into, and we didn't really know how to handle it. I guess what I would have liked to know when we dropped her off here, that I really wasn't alone. There were a lot of other parents who had all those horrible feelings that I had. I mean, I just felt so desperate and so alone and so hopeless. It's a terrible thing to leave your child with people you don't really know. And yet, a lot of people have done it, and it's just nice to know there are a lot of parents like me. The staff at Heartlight will love your child, and they understand your child better than you do, which is kind of weird, but they do. They know how to help your child through this difficult time. They know how to help your child become the person they should be. I feel when she graduates the program, I am going to have a different daughter back. The daughter that I lived with wasn't very open or honest. I didn't really feel like I knew her, and I feel like now I'm finally getting to know her as a person. So it's going to be a lot different.
I'm Sarah. I have a daughter who is 14, or will be on Sunday. She's been at Heartlight for 4 months now. Before we came to Heartlight, life was miserable. I think both for her and for me. Constant battles, frustration on my part. I was trying my hardest to parent the best I knew how, and it wasn't working. When I came here that first day, like most parents, it was a feeling of admitting failure in my ability to parent. But the thing that it was for me was hope. Hope of a change, hope of improvement over what we had had at home. I mean, and it was, to me, it was God's answer to my prayer. As I was driving out the gate, the things going through my mind were how different life was going to be. It had been there's so much drama at our home, and that drama was going to be gone. There was going to be an emptiness, you know, in that the house was going to be quieter. I mean, good in that it would be more peaceful. But I love my daughter, and I know I'm going to miss her. But yet I still had that confidence that she was in the hands of people who I think could give her what she needed when I couldn't. After 4 months, I can honestly say that my hopes have been confirmed, that I feel more confident that it was the right decision than I did the first day. It's been baby steps, not fast, overnight progress, but that's the beauty of it being as long a program as it is. That slow progress, I think, is more likely to be lasting progress. A piece of advice that I would give for parents that are leaving their child here is right up front, make it clear that you're here for the duration, that you believe that it's a process, that she's not going to like it the whole time that she's here. It's going to be rough spots, but the goal is the end. If you're steadfast in that communication with your child from the very beginning, then you don't get into the battles over, take me home, I hate it here, Mom. I haven't had that drama yet, because she knows that that's not an option. For me, Heartlight was an answer to my prayer, because I had been struggling for a long time in feeling that I wasn't doing an adequate job as a parent. I was trying as hard as I could, and things were getting worse instead of better, and I didn't know what to do. I had prayed like I've never prayed before, and I felt like God answered my prayer through Heartlight, because Heartlight had the experience that I didn't have. They'd worked with children as difficult and even more difficult than mine, and they'd come out with success stories. They had a great track record. I didn't. And it gave me hope where I hadn't had hope before.